Ready now? Ready to do a lot of talking? Ready to do a lot of talking? Let me hit the record button, guys. We might as well just go and record this one right here anyway. Welcome, guys. Good to be in the building tonight. Tonight we're gonna talk about what's already in the news. Welcome to TLR, guys. TLR, Tech, Love and Relations. Let's try this out, right? TLR, come on. TLR, 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 come on, all kind of song, TLR, yeah. TLR, So I got a good idea, yeah. So, yep, so that's the idea, yo. We're gonna talk about pretty much what's in the news, about just doing a little refresh pretty much on what's going on in the news and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get to it, and we do our regular stuff. I'll talk while we drive and all that, right? Can't hear myself. There we go. That's so much better. But I'm telling you, if you haven't been watching, right? If you haven't been watching, please pay attention. I've been asking that from last week's show. I've been asking, please pay attention, because it's serious what go on, you know. Let me see. Very, and let's see what's going on. Mooring buoy. The buoy. It's a long 18-hour journey to take that. And let me see this one right here. Long 20 hours just to take that. Let's do this one right here. That one should be enough time for us to, do what we want to do, chitter chatter for a little bit. And the other thing that I want to talk about too is the People's Convoy, right? We're going to try to make sure we keep it quickly. I haven't seen anyone in the chat room as yet. Hopefully I can see everyone and it don't become too boring, right? It don't become too boring at all. I don't want my show to sound like that. Right? I don't want my show to sound like that at all. So we ain't got time for the mosquitoes. Right? We ain't got time for the mosquitoes. Right? You don't want no mosquitoes to do all that stuff. Alright, let's turn this off. I don't want no background music at all. So we ain't got time for, you know, we want a nice show tonight. I'm actually kind of just waiting it out a little bit. We want a nice explosive show, right? Nice explosive show, right? We want this.
That's great. Buy from China. Buy toys from China. China in particular. China.
We don't want that at all.
China.
We don't want that at all. Right? Where's my, I'm looking for that one. We don't want to waste too much time. We ain't got all that. So yeah, I find the key that I was looking for. We ain't got time for that, right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right, we ain't got time for that. So we wanna rock our show pretty
son,
much.
Where'd you find this?
Yep. So yep. Let's start driving. Let's start driving. And that, no. That. Yep, there we go. So yep, let's start driving. Let me see. Journey 5. Office man 5 hours. Yep, so I'm sure y'all keeping the Ukrainians in prayer. Please, I'm asking you guys, keep them in prayer, because I mean, you got young people over there fighting and all that stuff. And it's not cute at all. People, you know, young people got their plans. They're in a fight that they don't want to be in. And so, you know what I'm saying, that ain't really a nice thing at all, to have the young people in a fight that they don't want to be in. And I just want to talk about stuff like that, because I need some gas. Because can you picture 19 and 20-year-old Americans going to war now? That wouldn't be a good thing at all for nobody. And that's what these young Ukrainians are after. They gotta get in a fight. Reposition my pedals. You know, there's this little young lady that really caught my attention. Whoa. Saying she was supposed to start, I think it was one she was supposed to start college, but because of the whole thing, no, you know, there was another one that was supposed to be getting married, and she have to be using cloth on the wedding dress, literally to help to make Molotov cocktails. I mean, that's serious right there, you know. So I hope that everyone can at least have some level of empathy. But the people, they got a lot of families being split up. You know, some of these kids, they ain't gonna never really see their parents again. Some families get split up permanently. Some families, yeah, they got split up permanently. So that's really sad, though. That's really sad. And the doggone Russians, they're doing some serious damages, stuff like that. But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about it, it's been referred to as an invasion, you know what I'm saying? And when you think about it, yeah, they're gonna fight for their sovereignty. They're gonna fight for their peace, their right, and their sovereignty. What's the heck going on, right? They're gonna try to fight for their peace, their right, and their sovereignty. So let the people them fight. It might cost, it's gonna cost a lot of them their life, but the thing about it, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about freedom, is it's not free. You know? And it's not fear, it's just not fear for a lot of them that's currently fighting. to be in the position that they are in. But the thing about it, they have no choice. It's just those times come up on them. And all what you're seeing right now, it's not new under the sun. It's something that happened all the time. Kind of crazy to get the media coverage, because in the Middle East, this happens all the time. In Africa and other places around the world, this happens all the time. When you look at the media coverage that they're getting and the support, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome that they're getting that, you know what I'm saying? And I sure hope, should in case any other resolution get broken out in other places, that other countries, you know what I'm saying, other people can get the same time and attention. It's getting a lot of media attention, I'm telling you. Every day you turn on the media, that's all you hear. It's all you hear. This Russian invasion of Ukraine. The heck for? Not sure what fell yet. So that's all you hear all the time. So I sure hope, you know what I'm saying. The thing about it, I'm gonna put before I move on to my next story, I'm gonna stick on this one for a while, because what I wanna do, I wanna put some predictions of how this thing gonna play out. So 3 ways that I think, and I'm sure more likely it's either one or the other. But I'm gonna predict 3 ways. I'm gonna throw out 3 ways that I think this will happen. The first way that I think is one of the options that I think is gonna end, or the way it's gonna play itself out, is that Russia gonna get what it wants. I mean, the Ukrainians, they're gonna put up a lot of fight, but I think the Russians will ultimately get what they want by any means necessary, right? Yep. The other way is Russia don't get what they want, and then we in an all-out war. Go in an all-out war, that means the NATO countries gotta get involved. That's the last thing we want. That's the last thing we want, is having NATO countries getting involved. Because, I mean, with NATO's countries getting involved, if one of them, America, have to get involved. If America getting involved, we're going to end up in a situation where we have another Cold War, pretty much. Don't want to have another Cold War, because then I guarantee, if we have another Cold War situation, we're going to have to be doing bomb drills, nuke drills, like in the 1950s. That's exactly what we'll have to be doing. So I would rather America, preferably, if they have to, by all means necessary. I like the projection how the American government doing it, though. They trying to work it from a distance. I love that approach. Definitely support that approach. So one time I can say that I agree with the American government by keeping that level of distance from it. You know what I'm saying? Putting that strain on them to try to provoke them. Hey, y'all want to stop invading Ukraine, right? But at the same time, you don't want to provoke them too much. At least, you know what I'm saying? Because Russia, as bad as Russia is, it does have the potential. It does have the potential to make everyone have a bad day, and we don't want that. Oh, that's way off. Yeah. So we don't want Russia to give. We don't want to give Russia the chance to give everybody a bad day, pretty much. So that's the idea. Is that I like how the American government is really working it. That way, work it from a distance. Don't get their hands dirty in whatever it is that's going on. Again, because by getting too dirty, It's gonna give Russia the ability to get dirty. It means America have to get dirty and everyone have a bad day. So see, American people call the sanctions weak. Been hearing reports, you know, people calling the sanctions weak and stuff like that. But the sanctions that they have now, they aren't weak. Thank you very much for your support. The sanctions, thank you. I'll definitely have a safe drive. I need gas. I need some fuel though. So I hope I can make it. Oh, there we go. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Yeah, but I like how they have their hands clean from it. But the sanctions aren't as weak as a lot of people think it is, because the sanctions deal with the economics, and economics definitely take time to show. When you affect the monetary policy of a country, they verify dollar amount. When you affect the dollar amount, the monetary policies of a country, when you affect them, that stuff takes time to show and time to go. It works both ways. Take a time to go and fully affect. Monetary policies generally aren't instant. So, hello, hi. Thanks for coming on to the show. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. What's your name? Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. How you doing today? From Tasmania. That's all right. Welcome to the show. You're all welcome. Good to get an audience from the other side of the world, right? Welcome. I'm just talking about why America have to stay out of the what's going on over there. People want that help, right? People want America and the NATO countries to help. But the thing about it is that what I'm trying to explain is that they can't, because if any one of the NATO's country help directly, then Russia will see that as a threat, right? And if Russia see it as a threat, then they'll be forced to move up the battle procedures, as what they're trying to do. If they see any kind, right now they have their threat on high alert. And remember, it's not, Russia is just not like in the, you know what I'm saying, like war in certain areas of the world. They got nukes, and they can use that stuff whenever they want to. So to lower the temperature, the NATO countries can't get involved at all. You know, they can't respond in which the world would like for them to respond. You get what I'm saying? So, and then the other thing too is that a lot of the NATO countries in Europe, they rely on Russia. Their economy is relied on Russia for oil and stuff like that. There you go. No one wants a nuclear war at all. No one wants a nuclear war at all. And we don't need Russia saying, okay, I guess we got to fire some nukes. Come on. Wow, that's a tight space. Yeah, we don't want them to feel like they have to. The other way they can affect, even before they fire their nukes, what Russia can do to European NATO countries like Poland, even Poland and all those countries, what they can do, they can shut off their gas supplies, crippling their economy. So again, the best thing that America can do, and the NATO countries, they have to stay out of it. And literally the world have to watch, which is painful to watch, an entire nation getting invaded, captured by another one. The thing about it is that Ukraine have a deep history with Russia, and so yeah, Putin wants Ukraine back. And then the other thing, if you look at it from a war tactical point of view, the thing about NATO, it provides that space between Russia and the NATO countries in Europe. a buffer zone pretty much is a zone where two parties don't have no ownership to. And that's why America have a good interest to ensure that Ukraine, that's why they can't give Ukraine NATO, because Ukraine is like a buffer zone, like a little space, a dead zone between, a little space between them and Russia. That way, should in case there's an accident or military drills and there's an accident, then hey, you know, he said, yep, he wants the old, yep, he wants it back. But that's what essentially Ukraine is. So what I personally believe with Ukraine, that's going to be a war desolate buffer zone land pretty much. Don't think it's going to get prosperous. I mean, I can be wrong, but I believe that it's just America and the NATO countries don't want to give them Ukraine NATO privileges. It's a reason why they don't. It's a reason why they don't. So the thing about it is that when eventually I believe Russia will take Ukraine by whatever force means necessary, by whatever means necessary they can, right? That puts they're gonna become a territory of Russia. And when they become a territory of Russia, then that put them that much close to NATO. And this is the part where it gets dangerous, because if a Russian territory is right next to a NATO country, then anything can happen. Anything possibly can happen. Yeah. We say they're gonna try to take it back. Yeah. But that's why Belarus is a reason why Belarus and Ukraine don't have NATO status. I hope I'm right. I think Belarus don't have NATO status at all, because those two countries are buffer zones. They buffer zones land. You ever seen like a old World War II videotape where the soldiers are fighting in the trenches, and then you have this empty piece of space between enemy lines? That's what Ukraine and Belarus is. Their buffer zones, if you look at it at a war perspective. That's what the war generals do. You generally don't have two enemies fighting next to each other. There's generally some space that is established and agreed upon, and that's what Belarus and Ukraine is. But the thing with why America hates it, because Russia wants that space, right? So, hold on a second. So, do you think that Russia gonna try to take or try to make a move on the NATO countries next door? Anyone want to answer that one? Do you think Russia gonna try to make a move on one of the NATO countries like Poland? You say reckon so? Okay, but why is that though? Why do you think they're gonna try to make that move though? Why is it they think they're gonna try to literally mess with a NATO ally? What do you think gonna happen when they mess with a NATO ally? Think Russia gonna have a bad day? No, you can't come right here. Too far to turn back now. Hey. Let me tell you something with Putin. Putin is not as crazy as the world wants Putin to be, or as he sees him. He's not an idiot, and he's not an idiot. Don't underestimate the enemy. I know, right? But don't underestimate the enemy. America knows Putin, and a lot of the world leaders, United Kingdom, everywhere, they know him. That's why they can't do anything. If there was a weakness with Putin, he wouldn't have the ability to do what he's doing now. So don't underestimate Putin. He's very strategic. Come on, car. So Putin is very strategic, and he knows his moves. The media that we're watching, it's not really explaining his full intention. Right, highly trained. He's an officer, right? But there's much more to it than just he being a former member of the KGB, though. There's much more to it that the media failed to tell us. You can't really, the thing about it is that, no, let me get some gas down here. I gotta get some gas. The thing about it is that, the man, as I said earlier, right, the man has the ability to mess every one of our days up. One man can do all that. Come on, car, drive. Need to get gas, dude. Right, so we don't want to mess with somebody like that have the ability with nukes sitting. Now, I'm not saying be afraid, but I'm just saying we don't want to underestimate somebody like that, because he know what he's doing. You know what buttons to press and how far to push it. And the thing about it is that no, he ain't gonna be like Kim Jong-un. You know why he ain't gonna be like Kim Jong? Because the thing with Kim Jong is that Kim Jong don't have the what you call it now. Kim Jong don't have the smarts to pull off the stuff and the resources and stuff like that. There's a lot to it than we know. So Kim Jong don't have the ability, the resources, the support and stuff like that like Putin has. Putin is a formidable enemy. That's what he is. That's why he have access to warheads and stuff like that. He wasn't just put. He's not just a leader of Russia just because he's a Russian. The man have links and stuff like that. The ability to get an idea or scope is that he's gonna get what he wants, because he's very smart. He have a very high IQ. His IQ is very, 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 very high. God, Kim just like, yep, Kim Jong grew up as a privileged kid. His father, grandfather, all them rule. So that's like royalty pretty much. They worship Kim Jong in his country. They'll feed him all the chicken over there. Yeah, they'll feed him all the chicken over there pretty much. Well, let me tell you something, yo. I've seen some things over the news that really hurt me, though. Like, as I said earlier, this young lady, she was supposed to get married, and she had to use the wedding dress that she was supposed to get married in to help to make Molotov cocktail. College kids, they were supposed to graduate and stuff like that. No, they can't. They got to be helping fight and shooting and all that stuff. Just to freedom, just to fight for their freedom. And as I've said, freedom is not free. There's always a price that has to be paid for freedom. And it's a sad situation. But what Ukraine is going through right now is nothing new under the sun. Many countries have been through it. And the only why you see it's being highlighted so much is because there's an interest to get public opinion about it, to get the public to hate what's going on. But it happens all the time though. It's sad. It's very, very, very sad and unfortunate. But it happens all the time. That's the sad reality about it. That mankind have always been fighting with each other, and they fight each other for whatever. Yeah, you're right about that. Actually, I was having a conversation about that to someone earlier about the Middle East. So what Russia really want, the end game of what Russia really want for Ukraine is a regime change. They want to put in their government, just like what America did, right? Put in their government. You go over there, you blow some shit up, drive out certain forces out there, install a new government, and then monitor and run and control that government for a while. I mean, America do this all. Everything that you see Russia do in the news, America do it all the time. That's a regular thing they do all the time. England been doing it for hundreds of years. That's how England, there's only 15 countries on earth that England haven't invaded at all. Only out of 195 countries, there's only 15 countries that the United Kingdom haven't invaded at all. So what we're seeing right here playing out is something that plays out all the time. And a lot of people, because they don't watch, especially for the younger folks, younger people, they don't watch the news all the time, but they're now seeing this and they're spreading it on social media like wildfire pretty much, right? So it's not nothing new and the world coming to an end. It's just something that's played out all the time. It's just that when Russia involved a nuclear superpower that can use their nukes, that's what makes it a little bit different. America do it all the time. That's regular thing for America too. He said that the UK takes a cup of tea with them and scones and invade in style. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do that all the time. Yep. They do all the time. Yeah, in style too. That's why the story of Christopher Columbus ain't so shining no more. In America, Christopher Columbus used to be seen as an hero. And nowadays, nowadays he ain't looking so friendly at all. Seeming more like an enemy now. But Christopher Columbus has done what he had done for his country. He was an invader. That's what he was. History have told us for a long time how he had discovered this and discovered that. The way they teach us the history, right? Hey. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Boo to that dude right there. Well, let me tell you something, yo. There's a lot of things we're going to relearn. And the only reason why we're seeing this is because of technology now. Technology have allowed us to see a lot of things that's going on at the moment, right in the time. So, because we have access, a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us have access to what's going on now. The truth for a lot of things is more harder to hide. So Russia just didn't get the opportunity to hide like how America can hide it, right? Or England used to hide it and then rewrite history from the actual event. It's all about information and control. That's what it is. And you say a long time ago there was Vlad the Impaler. He was nasty. He was nasty. Mean. But let me tell you, can you imagine Vlad the Impaler and all these people, if cameras was around at that time, how evil the world would be looking at them. The today world would be looking at them, how evil. They would see Neapolitan and all these people. I hope I'm saying that his name right. Neapolitan, 6 million black people, no, 20 million black people he murdered. Those people were evil. That's pure evil. So invasion of people always take what human beings are, what do you call it now? Human beings are just as dangerous and bad to each other as they are kind, loving, and very resourceful to each other. Human beings are evil, but they are very, very good. If you flip it, right? Same coin, but they got that total different side. And this right here will continue. What you're seeing right now plays out. It's playing out in other areas now. And it always has been and it always will play out this way. One country going to another, in another country. The map will always be redrawn and rewritten. That's just what it is. I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just saying this is the reality for a lot of folks around the world. Middle East, Africa, everywhere, right? And in other places, even in Central America and stuff like that. It always happens. Yeah, human beings are bipolar, they're sick. But we all have that side of us that's just pure evil. We all do. It's just that we have some of us have the majority of us have the common sense not to play that out. But the thing with money, if a lot of us had money and resources, we would be playing out a lot of our nasty sides. Because money always seems to change people, but money don't change people at all. Money brings out the real us. That's what it do. No, you can't come right here. I can't take that. Rest it over there. Rest it over there. Thank you. Yeah. So if a lot of us were kings and queens, we'd play out our dirty sides too. You'll be just mean towards people. That's why rich people always see mean. It's not that they always see mean. It's just that they have the resources to play out their real feelings. You know? Right? I know I'm doing all of that babbling right now. A lot of babble. Oh, man. You see our evil Christian ant? Man, I tell you, I don't know many ants that I kill. What I used to do when I was younger, when there was a little ant mound, what I used to do, I'd get the water hose and flood them out. I take out a whole colony of ant. Get the water hose and just run it down in there and watch them come up. And then what I'll do, I'll dig it up and get them going, right? I'll dig it up, get all the ant out of there, get them crawling out, and they're everywhere. And then I'll just flood everything. But I mean, they're very resilient though, because they find a new home. they always do. You always go find some new holes back in the yard. So there's some very resilient creatures, ants, roaches, stuff like that. Yeah. ants, roaches, and all that stuff. But I tell you, I used to make their place look like an explosion. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh man, I tell you. Yep, but for real though, yo, let's hope that this invasion right here doesn't bring something that's bigger with it this time. That's just the only thing that I hope that it doesn't do. Let's hope that it gets settled, that the people can go back to their normal lives, right? That families can regroup, less people dying. We don't want no more people dying and stuff like that. It's a bad thing when somebody die, but the idea is to get it over with, and I hope that whatever meeting, according to the media, there's a meeting that's supposed to be taking place. So let's hope that they can have a meeting and they come to a resolution about what they want to do. That less people die and bring back the families together. I hope. That's my positive way of looking into it. Hope. That's all I can do. That way we can move on to something new. But let me say this though, because I did say this the other day. Every time there's something that threatens people's lives, or what you see coming in the news these days, always affecting us and have the ability to affect us more and more. So right now, coronavirus is not in the news as much as the invasion now. And a lot of places they're lifting the mandates for corona, the mask mandate for coronavirus and stuff like that, right? Hold up. They say, I know, I hope you have enough money for some beer. I got one right here that I just finished. I need to go get another bottle. My throat's starting to feel a little dry because all I've been doing is just a lot of this. Yeah? A lot of blah blah. But let's cheer to some beer, yo. Right? There ain't nothing wrong with a little beer. I think all of us should be drinking beers rather than worrying about fuel prices, about to kick us in the rear lingo. Right? Right? Yep. But I'm telling you, I hope that we have the ability to drink some beer. Yeah, of course. There you go. There you go. I like that one right there. Hold on, let me try and straighten the truck out. I like that idea right there. We all should have access to beer. Right? 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 Some food. Yeah, some food. And enjoy some music. Right? That's what I'm talking about, yo. Good beer, right? Some good ass beer, yo. I like that one, man. Take a doggone shower with it. Oh shit. Oh man, I'm telling you, I like that though. At least the world would be a better place, right? The world would be a better place if we had more access to beer. I'm not an alcoholic at all. I like drinking casually, but I tell you that I enjoy it when I drink it casually. It's real good stuff, yo. It's better than fuel prices. You ain't got time for the fuel prices, right? Right? Better than the fuel prices that we think that. And the politicians, the politicians are like this. They getting scared of shit. Everything that we see, they getting scared of shit. They're chickens. 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 Hold on, I'm doing 1,000,001 things right here at the same time. Hold on a sec. Literally freaking multitasking at the moment. Freaking multitasking at the moment, though. Trying to do a one-man show, you gotta do a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? They say you need to drink water. Beer has water in it. Yep, it does. And as the Bible say Jesus turned wine. Christian Bible say Jesus turned wine into beer. Sorry, water into wine, right? Water into wine. That's what the Bible say. Jesus turned water into wine. What the Bible didn't say was that Jesus turned wine into water. So it tells you a lot about drinking. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay to be a Christian and not drink at all. But what I don't like is some Christians opposed to drinking so much, they're telling other Christians that they can't drink or drinking is bad. What the Bible actually talk about is drunkenness is bad. It's not wise to be drunk. It's foolish to be drunk, to a drunkard. Don't be a drunkard. And if you're not an alcoholic, that's fine, right? If you don't drink, that's fine. But do not ridicule folks who drink. So I say cheers to all the beers. Where's my sound bite for that one? Cheers to all the beers. Cheers to all the beers. Oh shit. I'm like everywhere. Hold on. Cheers to all the beers. Oh man. So keep on drinking, folk. It might help for you to digest. It might help for you to digest. Oh, I'm everywhere all over. It might help to digest a lot of what's going on. Yeah, yo. Right? That's good right there. So, yep, the other thing that I want to talk about is the Freedom Convoy. The Freedom Convoy that was taking place in Canada, and now it's actually taking place in the United States now. So I'm telling you, when truckers wheels don't turn, that's not a good thing for everyone. truckers shouldn't have to take the time out needed to be demonstrating for anything at all, because they create a part of the for most economical in most economical countries, if not all, they provide the essential needs for the population, and for them to be taking the time out of their busy schedule, that's not a good thing at all. They said, yeah, about the mandates, right? Because I mean, some of the states, like some of the states in America, I agree with their mandates, but in others, I just simply don't agree. Like, you can't even go eat in New York. You can't even go eat. Well, when they had the mandate, I'm not sure if this one is still in place, but they had a mandate in place to where they're telling restaurants you can't allow if people in there if they don't show their vaccine cards. I'm like, that's freaking ridiculous. You can't go eat unless you show your vaccine card. Fully vaccinated too. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right? That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. All that. That's crazy, yo. Oh man, I'm tearing my truck up. No, that's crazy right there. I can't go eat. And they're coming to realize that a lot of those mandates right there, it's just freaking ridiculous. A lot of those mandates were freaking ridiculous. So the thing about it is that with all those ridiculous mandates that they have, I mean, they were literally firing nurses from their jobs because they refused to get vaccinated. CNN, one of the biggest news network on the face of the earth, telling people to go get vaccinated and don't even think about it. These are comments that they're like shoving that down the throats of people. Shoving it and just shoving it and shoving it. Driving it. So that's the reason why these all the mandates are very unpopular. Very, very unpopular. So that's why the truckers have to be taking their time. Right? They have to be taking their time to go and show their support. Hey, we want some freedom ride here, freedom convoy, and stuff like that. So it leaves a lot of the conspiracy theorists questions. Like, is this a run for the New World Order? Is it a run for the New World Order? What it is? You know what I'm saying? And conspiracy theories are things that you have to take with a large grain of salt. But their actions that they're doing and the way they're behaving and stuff like that is actually making some of these conspiracies seem true. Right? 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 A lot of them politicians, they're just deaf ears. They need that right in their face, a kick. They're just deaf ears, yo. Freaking deaf ears. It make the conspiracy theories, you know what I'm saying, they suck, right? Make a lot of them seem like that. Oh gosh, this truck gone bad. So when they fought, so politicians, yep, they suck. They're not listening to the people. They have deaf ears to the people. So that's why truckers gotta be taking a time out.
Go straight up. That's right.
That's why they gotta be taking that time out, pretty much. And now I realize, I guess probably because the whole Russia and Ukraine situation, a lot of them pulling back their mandates now. But I guarantee you, if they ever start a lot of those mandates again, because I think, I heard England pretty much rolling back. Boris Johnson want to roll back a lot of these mandates because they're unpopular. Or probably the reason why they're rolling back so much of them is because election time coming up. Yeah. You know, politicians get around election time, they start listening to everybody. They got to realize all of us ain't no fool. All of us, we ain't all fools. Some of us actually pay attention. Some of us actually do pay attention. Make sure I pass right here. Some of them, they like some of us actually, hold on, literally all over the road right here. Yeah, some of us actually do pay attention. Hold on. Oh, this freaking car right here. This freaking car right here is just all over the place. And I am all over the doggone place too. Yeah, but for real though. Well, let me tell you something, yo. People ain't as dumb as a lot of these world leaders think. They actually are smarter than what they think. And there'll always be a fight. There'll always be a fight and an opposed to what government bodies want or entities want. People will always stand up for what they believe is right. And the so-called democracy that these countries are talking about is gonna show more and more what real democracy is, what real freedom is. There are gonna be times in which the people get upset with their governments. There are gonna be times in which they disagree with their governments. And there are gonna be times in which they're gonna have to fight for their governments. But at the end of the day, the people have a responsibility. You're gonna show them what drunks look like tonight. Alright, man. Hey, drink up, yo. Drink up and enjoy. Give that loud belch. When you get that loud belch, make sure it's as loud as possible to assert your dominance. Right? Yeah, but as I was saying, people know right from wrong. I know, right? A big fart. Yep. Ain't nothing good like a good ass fart in the morning time too. A good beer fart and a good old morning fart. But I like with beer farts though, they come at the right time though. And everyone drinking and everything like that. Right in the middle of it all, the meat of it all. Good ass loud fart. Yeah, when air gets out from both ends of the body, the mouth and the butthole, that's showing dominance. Taking over the situation. Ah, shit. Oh man. Taking over the situation. Mm. But hey, if you look on the bottom of that page, you will see a suggestion box. If whenever you're ready, you can just go ahead and leave, you know, what you like to see on the show and stuff like that. What topic you'd like for me to discuss, and then we all can talk about it, right? Don't forget to you can share it if you want, you know what I'm saying? Like it, follow, definitely follow if you haven't, but definitely if you do, I do appreciate the follow, man. Definitely appreciate it. What I'm trying to do right here, I'm just trying to do things a little bit different, trying to build that community, trying to come on here as much as I can, you know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, thank you so much. And again, the channel is also yours. You're gonna I want an engagement, you know what I'm saying? Let me know, hey, this is what you want to talk about, and I'll do my research. You can't come and blah 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 on here, so I try to make sure that I do some reading, get the info and stuff like that. Yes, I do play this with others online. The convoy, they got the convoy. You know, I do play that from time to time. I haven't in a while though, because I'm running some mods that's not agreeing with it, but yeah, I like it though. I do. It's relaxing, I like it. Right? And my the channel right here, it's a little different. I talk about topics that what goes on while I play a game, rather than actually, if you notice, I haven't mentioned anything about the game itself at all. Because I mean, everyone that sees ATS knows about ATS, right? Right? So, yep. So feel free to come on again, left that suggestion and stuff like that, and share it if you want it. I'm on YouTube. It's TLR, Tech Love and Relations, TLR on YouTube, and I'm on it's on Facebook, Tech Love and Relations. Put it on your page if you'd like to share it. If you hear something interesting, cut it, paste it, put it on whatever you want to put it on. I ain't charging anyone for it at all. Alright? Keep it clean and do whatever you want with it and stuff like that. Just keep it clean, and that's all I ask. Keep it clean, and don't put it against a narrative that I wouldn't talk about. But definitely though, I always try to be as accurate as I can. If I don't know something, I try to do my research about it before I come and I talk about it. So I've been following what's going on and stuff like that, and it really does pique my interest, because if somebody in this war right here, somebody make the wrong move, it can affect everybody else overnight, just like that. So it piques my interest, and that's why I talk about it. So yep. Check out and see what's going on YouTube. Well, oh yeah, it's been crazy though, I'm telling you. It's been freaking crazy. Because this right here, again, it's just that if somebody get pissed off, it can mess up everybody. You say radiation in Chernobyl has gone up over 20 times. It's normal. Oh yeah, I would have to look into that one right there. I haven't checked out the levels of the radiation in Chernobyl. But it's funny in Chernobyl that Russia have a lot to do with that right there. The little that I know about the entire story about that entire meltdown that took place back in the 80s. That place is unlivable. It's going to be unlivable for a long time, you know. Long time. Can't remember how many years that they say that it's going to be unlivable for. But Chernobyl was once a thriving boom town back in those days, though. Because they have like old, it's just freaking crazy because they got like old videos of it and stuff like that. Kids in the park and playing and stuff like that. And then when you compare then and now, it's just the difference. It's just like, wow. What that had done though was allowed me to
Go straight up.
to do a research, like, you know what I'm saying, if you always kind of wonder if you have like a nuclear reactor close to where you live. It does. So, do I? Yep, I'm like, do I get one? Do I have one of those reactors nearby? Let me check the map to see. But then when you look around, it's kind of hard to find because they don't really disclose the location of them so much. When these things go melt down, you kind of want to have in the back of your mind, hey, where the heck do I go? What direction? They say something like about if the wind blows, the fallout particles in one direction, or whatever that is. I'd have to go look on that stuff again. But Chernobyl is out for it's going to be out for hundreds of years actually. Yeah, pretty much, only a bit. It does. If you really think about the sun, it's a freaking nuclear reactor. That's what it is. And it's the radial heat, the radiation from it, that it does keep us warm. The sun ain't just produce light at all. It produces a lot of energy that we can't see with our eyes. Yeah, the sun ain't no joke. There's a lot of active ionizing particles ready to get us down. Hold on a sec. Oh yeah. But anyway though, I'm saying, you know, it's just crazy how this whole thing is just blown up in front of us though. You know, the people's convoy, alright, take care y'all. Thank you. Definitely appreciate the time taken out. And peace out. Take care, I appreciate it. Sorry. Alright. Yep. So the people's convoy taking place in Washington. I gotta say though, I hope that they don't, when they reach to Washington, what I would like to see is a peaceful demonstration. That way they can don't get the negative light that some media outlets would like to put on them, you know. And that, you know, the ultimate messaging or reason why they are there, you know, is more highlighted rather than they going there, you know what I'm saying, blocking the street off or creating chaos pretty much, and then the media would start to rush at it and call it insurrection and all kinds of name and abominable, an attack on democracy and stuff like that. It's just a posture, so a lot of them actually went ahead and start to describe what the Canadian truck drivers are doing. They call it insurrection and all that stuff, attacking democracy, when they're actually exercising one of their main amendments. Like, that's just freaking crazy. Like, what the heck, yo? You can't allow to say that as soon as people go out to demonstrate for a cause, it's an attack on democracy. And that's a very, very irresponsible thing to say. It is. Very, very, very irresponsible thing to say. You can't just roll. Media outlets, to me, need to start be held accountable for a lot of the garbage. All they do is this. Yep, that's all they do. That's all they do. Run their mouth. Wrong. A lot of them just outright wrong. Right? A lot of them just wrong. Right? They fail at what they do. That's why a lot of the people don't like them no more. That's wrong. That's total wrong.
Exit right. Turn right.
That's what a lot of the major news network are now. They like that. Huh? A lot of them are like that. A lot of them are like that. Huh? Running their mouth. That's how their mouth sound. Yeah?
Get ready to turn left.
That's what a lot of them is.
Turn left.
Yeah, a lot of them, that's all they do. They don't know what the heck they talking about. Some of them need this in their rear, in their ass. They need that right in their ass, right in their mouth. Yep. Yep, that's what they want. That's it. That's all. That's what they want. A lot of that. Anyway, though, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, alright, give me a cheer, a good idea.
Don't be selfish. Hit the subscribe button now to tee along.
Got everything. As I said, man, it's so sad, man, when I think about the truckers. It's just like that. So politicians fail us, just like that. They're just a waste of time. They're like Mario. I need to go fix this truck up anyway. So I guess everything remained intact even after that big old accident I had on the highway. Oh shit, man! I drive.
You suck.
I drive bad sometime, I drive so bad sometime. That's how I drive sometime. Well, yep, it's been a good discussion. I wonder if I should like do another short route. I don't know. I like doing them a long route, having that conversation. Anyone here with me watching? Notice my YouTube been a little bit on the empty side. A little bit on the empty side. So I'm trying to wonder. I haven't seen anyone at all. Been going over an hour now. Well. Shit. I got a good idea. Got a good freaking idea. It's here. We go stop that. And go to
heartstrings of audiences across the globe. Whatever be the outcome of this war in Ukraine, history will record Zelensky as the hero in shining armor. While Putin has already joined the ranks of all-time world villains like Hitler and Stalin. When the world's a stage and everyone is but an actor in it, there is no doubting that Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine stands at the edge of that stage, where life meets performance and only truth shines forth.
We're slipping into a short break here on India Today. Coming up on the other side, our focus is going to be completely on India's evacuation operation. So all the details that you need to know on Operation Ganga coming up in just a bit.
The country's biggest assembly elections, the most expensive democratic exercise, the results of which possibly could impact on how India votes in 2024. The numbers, the issues, the real ground picture. Catch all the buzz from two states, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, right here with me on my election dispatch.
As Russia declared war on Ukraine, as the world was plunged again into crisis, with the only Indian team in the real war zone.
This is Mariupol. You hear a series. Hear this sound.
I will show you a quick, so to say, bombshell room tour.
I can smell the gunpowder in the air.
And without pause, India Today totally dominates viewership and smashes the competition. When it's the world's biggest news story, there's only one gold standard of journalism.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I got a little late because I was giving him a feed and it's crazy and I have a toddler and I have a baby and my house is always full of people and, you know, it's there's a lot of noise. There are times when it's challenging, it's consuming, but it's just, you know, you live for the cuddles and it's just the best feeling in the world.
India's abstained yet again on a vote with regards to the Ukraine-Russia war. This is at the UNHRC. The Council decided to hold an emergency debate on the situation in Ukraine on Monday. The results of the vote were as follows. 29 countries in favor, 5 votes against, 13 abstentions, of which India is one among them. India again choosing to abstain. We've of course been walking a very, very close diplomatic tightrope on this issue, and in almost every single vote that's come up in the world stage on the United Nations platform, India has chosen to abstain. India has intensified its evacuation efforts to bring back stranded Indian nationals on a war footing, and this is under a mission called Operation Ganga. New Delhi is working tirelessly to safely bring back 20,000 stranded Indians in Ukraine amid, of course, the all-out full-fledged war with Russia. To further pace up the evacuation process, India has decided to send 4 union ministers, and this is not to Ukraine but to the neighboring countries. Ministers Hardeep Puri, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Kiran Rijiju and VK Singh will be going as special envoys of India to personally monitor the operation.
युद्ध का समय आता है तो बहुत लोगों को कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है, बहुत लोग अफरा तफरी में हो जाते हैं, बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि शायद एकदम से हम निकल के जा सकते हैं। दिक्कत होती है। युद्ध के अंदर सबसे बड़ी चीज है अपना बचाव करना। तो जो भी इसीलिए हिदायतें दी गई हैं हमारे लोगों की तरफ से या उस देश की तरफ से, उनका पालन करना बड़ा जरूरी है। उसका पालन करें, जैसे आपको हिदायत मिलती है चलने की उसके हिसाब से आपको निकाला जाएगा। और इस चीज के लिए आश्वस्त रहें कि भारत सरकार पूरे जोर शोर के साथ आपको निकालने के अंदर जुटी हुई है।
And all the highlights of day 6 of Putin's invasion will be up here on India Today. We're going to continue getting you our unmatched coverage through today as well. Slipping into a short break, I'll be right back.
Messaging apps like WhatsApp, Messenger, iMessage, Telegram, and a lot more. But do you ever worry about your sensitive information getting leaked? Well, in the age where spyware like Pegasus can really infect almost every device or software, data breach really concerns all of us. We naturally have very little confidence now in these apps being completely hack-proof. But ISRO's recent breakthrough experiment claims to have made an absolutely hack-proof communication channel. To do that, they've used satellite-based quantum communication technique. So what is so special about quantum communication that is hack-proof? Quantum communication uses a type of encryption method called quantum cryptography, which is impenetrable by hackers. This kind of encryption enhances the end-to-end security where users will be notified if their information is being hacked. Quantum cryptography is now globally in demand, and it seems like more countries are also looking into it as an antidote to cyber attacks. With the Pegasus scare and much of the data being compromised now, even for civilians, perhaps quantum communication can really make our communication a lot more safe and secure. So how promising is this technology? ISRO scientists conducted this demo using quantum cryptography. Simply put, think of it as two people here communicating while sharing a secret code which is only known to them. The secret code here is what keeps the communication channel secure. And if someone tries to crack that secret code, both parties will be notified. The experiment here used 2 points at 300 meters apart to share quantum-secure texts, videos, and images. This experiment was repeated over several nights to check the extent of its security. This demo can now be instrumental in creating hack-proof communication. The question now is, will India lead the way to secure communication tech? The quantum cryptography market is really growing across the globe, which means that this demo can make India catch early on the quantum race. Many other countries are working on a system like this too. China as well demonstrated quantum communication with success. But the question still remains here as to how this technology will be deployed. Will this be used in our day-to-day apps that we use? Will this change the surveillance economy?
When it's the world's biggest news story, there's only one gold standard of journalism. This is Ukraine's true danger zone. Up close and fearless in Ukraine's combat zone. When it's the world's biggest news story, there's only one gold standard of journalism. This is Ukraine's true danger zone. Up close and fearless in Ukraine's combat zone.
You are watching
Anyone know this
Russian
Facebook
troops are slowly
page?
inching closer to the city of Kiev, and there are big signs that Russia will launch its next big attack. Like
You
what
can't
happened
comment
in
on the
Kharkiv,
Facebook
on the
page at
Ukrainian
all.
capital.
Like,
This is
Facebook
on
ain't
day
no
6
commenting at
of
all.
Putin's invasion of Ukraine. We decoded
Just
our next
hope
report
it
for you.
ain't
The
just
5
I know this.
biggest signs that
No
Kyiv
comment
will come
at
under
all.
fire next, that Kyiv is Russia's target.
No comment at all. Facebook. Right?
Russia is closing in on the Ukrainian capital. Almost under siege for over 3 days,
No, for real,
Kiev
like,
is fighting back.
And no comment on Facebook
But there are
at all.
5 big ominous signs of a big attack by Russian forces on Kiev, which has so far been guarded well by Ukrainian troops. The biggest sign of an attack is Russia calling for immediate evacuation of Kiev. Satellite images accessed show 3-mile-long tank columns on the road to the city. Ukraine is bracing for the big attack. Not only are the Ukrainian forces bolstering its defenses on the outskirts of Kiev, citizen soldiers are also organizing suburban deployments. Ukraine is also consistently attempting to target Russian missile positions. The deployment and movement of Russian forces indicate President Vladimir Putin wants to get his hands on Kiev as soon as possible. But why is Putin chasing the city? Kiev is the power center and capital of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also resides in Kiev, and his last video traces him to the city. Putin hopes to install a Kremlin-friendly government in Ukraine once his forces take over the capital.
That's
Lastly,
crazy, man.
Ukraine's major military installations are spread around the city. While the first 5 days of attacks proved the war is not going to be a walkover, Russia is not backing down. It continues its advance towards Ukraine's crown jewel, Kiev. With Gaurav Sawant and Rajesh Pawar in Kiev, Bureau Report, India Today.
Team of reporters for the last many days have been getting you unparalleled coverage from the ground. Here's
Oh,
a
they
report
have.
by India Today's Rajesh Pawar from the capital city of
They
Kiev.
have.
Air raids were witnessed
Say
amid
that
peace
again.
talks between Russia and Ukraine. Take a look at that report.
I'm right now in my hotel in the city center, Kyiv city center, and I just heard 3 big explosions. In last 10 minutes, 3 explosions, one after another, big explosions, one of them very close to me. I believe these were the cruise missiles fired by the Russian army into Kyiv. Also, in last 15 minutes,
I mean, like,
the
check out
air alarm
Facebook
signal,
stuff, bro.
the air alarm siren went out 6 times, warning all citizens in the city to move out of their houses and go to some bomb shelter or to metro shelter or maybe in the basements of their houses if they have one. So if this is happening after a gap of 30 hours now, at this time when the talks were going on, I take this as a signal that talks have failed and the war will resume now and at a much
So they
harder
talk
scale,
already
and a
pretty
much bigger
much?
scale from tomorrow onwards. This is Rajesh Pawar for India Today from Kyiv City Center.
From Kiev, let's focus on Kharkiv, which is Ukraine's second biggest city. It's been under siege now for over 100 hours and counting, because since the weekend, we've been getting you details about the battle for Kharkiv. Soon after Russia claimed that the city was on the brink of falling, Ukraine claimed it's still very much under their control. Here's a timeline of all that's played out in Kharkiv and what's in fact led to the Russian troops struggling to take control of the city.
enough is enough. Soldiers need to move back to their barracks, and leaders need to move to peace. Civilians must be protected. International humanitarian and human rights law must be upheld. The sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders must be respected, in line with General Assembly resolutions. Yesterday, Russian nuclear forces were put on high alert. This is a chilling development. The mere idea of a nuclear conflict is simply inconceivable.
Close to 200 hours since Russia invaded Ukraine, delegations of both countries met in Belarus, as we told you. The world's eyes are, however, on two leaders, Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. Both leaders have sent out very strong messages, both very resolute and firm in their stance, both refusing to blink. The Russian president is back to nuclear saber rattling, telling his defense minister to put his country's nuclear triad on standby, on alert duty. Putin also spoke to French President Emmanuel Macron, telling him that there will be no compromise on Russia's legitimate security interests. Putin reiterated his demand of demilitarization and denazification, as he called it, of Ukraine. The Ukrainian president, in return, sent out a big warning, asking Russian soldiers to save their lives and to leave. Zelensky has also signed an application for EU membership. He's reminded people of his country that each of them is a warrior in his last public address. War rages on. Invaders from across the border are trying to overrun Ukraine. Russian forces are relentlessly moving towards the capital. They want to take over Kiev, and that's the objective, to get rid of the man who's rallied his country to stand and fight. That man is, of course, President Volodymyr Zelensky. And he's an unlikely hero, an unassuming wartime leader of a country that's under siege. He's the puny David of Ukraine against the Russian Goliath of a bully. A man who thought comedy was his forte got the tragic role of a president of a nation invaded. And yet it's in this role that President Zelensky has found his largest audience ever, as people across the world have hailed him. If you haven't had a chance to read about Zelensky yet, in our next report we get you all the details about his very, very interesting journey to become the president of Ukraine.
Всім добрий вечір. Лідер фракції тут, голова Офісу президента тут, прем'єр-міністр Шмигаль тут, Подоляк тут, президент тут.
His is the voice of defiance, a call from the heart that has gone out and firmed the defense of Ukraine against the forces of invasion.
I'm here to protect my wife, my family, myself, my country from the Russian invasion.
We will fight for our land and we will kill all Russians.
If somebody give me a weapon, I will fight. I'm not afraid.
Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, had everything wrong about being a wartime leader of a nation invaded. He's from Jewish stock in Eastern Europe with its history of anti-Semitism. His family spoke Russian. He grew up speaking the language of the invader. He happened to be a comic by profession. In 2019, the comic actor decided to run for presidency, and people took that as a joke. He called his party the Servant of the People Party. The outcome was comic relief. Volodymyr Zelensky won 73% of the votes and promised to bring peace to the restive eastern regions of Luhansk and Donetsk. What came was war, not with Russia, but with his Russian namesake, Vladimir.
Once again, I appeal to the servicemen of Ukrainian armed forces. Don't let neo-Nazis and Banderites use your children, your wives, and old people as human shields. Take power into your own hands. It seems that it will be easier for us to come to terms with you than with this gang of drug addicts and neo-Nazis who settled in Kyiv and took all Ukrainian people hostage.
Volodymyr Zelensky was born in 1978 into a Russian-speaking, Jewish family of the then Soviet Socialist Republic of Ukraine. His father was a professor of mathematics and his mother had studied engineering. The town of his birth, Kirvidi, stands next to Babi Yar, where 33,771 Jews were shot and thrown into a ravine over the course of 2 days in 1941. Zelensky studied law and earned a degree in it, only to found a TV entertainment company. Zelensky found success in his vaudeville act. He and a few friends created a comedy troupe that became a famous act not just in Ukraine, as well as other Russian-speaking regions of a post-Soviet world. The prison through
I am out. I say peace. Let peace be upon us all. Cause I want to tell a boy I deal with a lot of stuff, so may peace be upon us all. So take care, guys. I'm out.